this grabbed me a lot more, but has not grabbed a lot of people um, in the way that they expected. Don't Look Up, Adam McKay's newest movie dropping on Christmas Day. This has like a 56 or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes. Really has, I think, divided critics. It's obviously a stacked cast led by Leo and J Law, but Kate Blanchett, Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep, Timothy Chalamet, a lot of big names in this, as there typically are with Adam McKay films. Dave, my first question, probably the most important one: why did the Colonel charge them for the free snacks? But in seriousness, um, what do you make of the mixed reception to this? Why is this hitting with some and not with others?
Yeah, no, it's very interesting to think about. And there's a lot of discourse that I find really frustrating around Don't Look Up overall. And a lot of that has to do with just the relationship between art and criticism. We can get to that. But I would say Don't Look Up has a lot of characters and not a lot of subtlety. And
No,
that's not for everyone, you know? It's really funny to see a lot of people say too, so it didn't work for me, but I liked it more than Vice. I thought Vice was way more intelligent than Don't Look Up, to be
yes,
honest. Like,
yeah,
Don't Look Up is kind of just like holding up a billboard with a message on it. And once you read that message, they never erase it and put a new message on. There's nothing actually being said in a profound manner in Don't Look Up. And on the other hand, it's not like a dynamite comedy the way Adam McKay used to make his bones when he still was cool with Will Ferrell. So it doesn't really to me serve either master. So it's just kind of like a mixed thing in the middle. I find it broadly entertaining just because I like seeing all of these people together doing stuff. But I think it really misses the mark for what it's trying to achieve.
I think I might have liked it a bit more. You know, because I think what McKay was really going for with this, and if you listen to a few of his interviews, he's pretty straightforward, which is like obviously the comet in this is a metaphor for the climate crisis. And
Hmm.
if you're even aware of the climate crisis, why would you not just be making this the number one issue in your life moving forward? Which I think he captures a lot of the absurdity around the politics and around the mental gymnastics that people do around the climate crisis in this. I think he captures that well, if not, but not subtle, like you said. A lot of it is very overt and just very like ridiculous. Um, but I think that the film is pretty like most McKay films are. It's very entertaining to me, and it just kind of held my attention really well. And like you said, you're seeing a lot of actors doing fun things. I think anytime you get Leo leading something, you're pretty much going to be like sucked into it. Even like The Revenant, which was like to me a lot tougher to watch than something like this because it just wasn't super entertaining. I like seeing Leo just be ridiculous and go on this crazy journey as like a professor who becomes famous and starts an affair with Kate Blanchett. But yeah, I think the critiques of it not being totally a comedy, not being very subtle, not really being a doomsday movie, like it doesn't really check a lot of boxes, but I think it still works somehow. If that makes sense.
I'll say I like The Revenant a lot more than this. I like The Revenant. Revenant's underrated now.
Yeah, it is.
No,
It definitely is underrated, but it's just not like a fun film to rewatch to me.
yeah, sure. Uh, I guess my thing is it seems like Adam McKay, who's been a little punchy about the reception too. Adam McKay, like, you want a fucking lollipop because you said the climate change is a big deal? Congratulations, dude. Like, that doesn't make you smart. Like if
True.
anything, like, it's so simple. It's so basic. Like, I'm someone who reads Bloomberg Green all the fucking time. I'm very serious about the climate crisis and environmentalism in general. But like, this doesn't impress me. So as a film, I if it's not going to be super impressive from a message standpoint, I like it to be funny. It's not really that funny. Or I like it to just be broadly watchable with compelling actors, which I think it is. So what's really annoyed me though about this is there's all these people that are like, it's like, that's the point. The point is that people don't pay attention. How, all these people criticizing it. It's like, you just don't take it seriously. It's like, no, actually, it's just called fucking film criticism, you idiots. And you can criticize something that's about an important issue.
Oh,
And
sure. Yeah.
there's been some galaxy brain people about this movie that's really annoyed me. But I think it's broadly entertaining. I thought Kate Blanchett and Tyler Perry on like the infotainment type of view setting, I
Hmm.
thought they were really great. I actually really liked watching Leo lose his mind a
Yeah.
little bit. I actually like that brief interlude where he's like clapping back at people on the message boards in like a really
Yeah.
earnest, serious way. That was
Hmm.
smart. In general, great to see Jennifer Lawrence back after a break she chose on her own accord. That was great. You know, I thought Jonah Hill awesome as like a Don Jr. type stand in there. I thought Meryl was kind of okay as like a Trump figure,
Eh,
nothing fancy.
yeah.
Rylance as a Jobs Musk tech billionaire figure, okay. Chalamet doesn't really have a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot to do in this. So like, the cast though is obviously really impressive. Um, but I just have a hard time like giving the movie points for saying climate change is a problem and people don't pay attention. It's like, and is that all you have to say about it? Because if that's all you have to say, then you didn't really say anything. That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it.
I think it's I I think I don't have the data. This is like a funny thing to say about this, I think. But I don't have the data to say if I could give them points for it or not, because I don't know how many people that typically would choose not to engage with climate content or climate crisis
Mm,
information are actually engaging with this and being like awoken or something like that. I I do think there's something to a movie that obviously is not explicitly saying this is the climate crisis, but pretty overtly the metaphor is about climate crisis. Maybe will suck some people in who wouldn't typically engage with this. It might take something away, but yeah, I agree. I don't think on the surface just making a movie about the climate crisis
yeah.
is something to get credit for.
I also think it's treatment of the media and if that's like comment on the media and stuff. I think it's like overly simplified and not really spot on. Like if the world was ending in 5 fucking months, you bet your ass that is the lead story of every news program for five
Mhm.
fucking months. What are you talking about? Have you not seen how we handled the pandemic on the news
Yeah.
for 2 years? Like that's just an inaccurate read, in my opinion. And this movie was formed pre-pandemic and kind of tweaked once the pandemic happened. But I also thought that was kind of like that's just like not what would happen. And you're actually trying to
Yeah.
present this as what happens today and why that's bad. But I didn't think that was right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think that's right. I think the more accurate portrayal would be how like the White House was telling certain news stations to put certain stories up and then other stations putting other ones. And I can't recall if they did that. I think there might have been something where it was like this is the headline on all the other ones, and then one station had like some stupid headline. But
Hmm.
uh I definitely think that some of it is oversimplified. I also just I think that's a bit surprising for McKay, who, when you look at something like The Big Short or even
Hmm.
like Vice, I think he told some pretty complicated, nuanced things pretty well. I think it's hard with something like the climate crisis, and this is, like you said, a very broad, sweeping movie that is touching on a lot of aspects of the crisis and how we got here. To maybe be super nuanced with every aspect of it, because if you even think about like the fact that they're dealing with a Meryl Streep like president, Donald Trump like president in this. They don't even get into like how a person like that got into power and how those
Hmm.
sort of supporters may be driving a bit of the lack of people wanting to engage with this kind of climate or
Yeah,
comet crisis stuff. I don't know. It's
totally.
it's hard, but I thought the movie overall was pretty watchable. So
Yeah.
um,
Oh, I think it's watchable for sure. Um, it's I'm actually interested in very interested in McKay's next film, which is going to be at Apple about Elizabeth Holmes and the Theranos scandal,
yeah,
starring Jennifer Lawrence. I think that type of story lends itself to McKay's sensibility. McKay clearly is someone who's more focused on doing slightly more serious material, even if he tries to you know, take the air out of the room sometimes still a little bit with some comedy. He's clearly interested in more serious stuff. But I think the Theranos story uh, is a good fit for him. And in general, I'm just really happy to see J Law getting back in the swing because she still is really great. She just wasn't picking great roles before she slowed down for a little bit there. Um, and
Yeah, and
also, of course, we
obviously,
have Winning Time coming out soon on HBO,
yes,
the Showtime Lakers show in March. So we'll be getting plenty of Adam McKay soon. And
yeah,
oh yeah, and also just shout out Timothy Chalamet again. Not really much of a role with this, but he did work with Adam McKay, Wes Anderson, and Denny Villeneuve in 2021. Really big year for him.
yeah, pretty good for our guy Timothy. I don't see this getting much awards buzz. Do you?
I don't know about that, man. It's
You
being
think
pegged
so?
as something getting nominated for Best Picture.
I think that'd be tough.
Yeah, so and I think the way it seems to be going is it would probably be nominated for Best Picture, maybe some other stuff. Probably is not going to win much of anything.
Mhm.
Leo, J Law, they're not really in the race for acting. So it's not my pick. It's not in my top 10. Spoilers for next week, but it seems to be going that way because the Academy has liked McKay quite a bit the past two films he made. Remember, Vice also had a bit of a polarizing reception, but still got like 8 nominations. So keep
True,
an eye out for this, honestly.
man. That I think as we talk about our movies of the year, I mean, I haven't made my list quite yet. I definitely am starting to narrow it down. I don't see this cracking my top 10, maybe top 20, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if it got a best picture nom, that'd be kind of a tough pill to swallow.